Alright. Share my screen for a good movie. It's a good movie. It's not a great movie, but it's a good movie.
I don't know. I think... okay. Yeah, okay. I don't know. I like it a lot. Maybe I'm biased.
It's a good leverage episode.
Yeah, I was just reading that post, actually.
Yeah. Anytime anyone is like, wow, I don't know what happened with Ghost Protocol, it's like, let me come in and tell you, because I love McQuarrie. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think a lot of my ethos about writing lines up with McQuarrie, and that's why I unfortunately
stand. This is why you have to listen to Light the Fuse. You have to, Ark. Also, I love that a lot of the quotes that you have in that post are from Light the Fuse. That must be where the Eye of the Duck people are getting their quotes.
The Eye of the Duck people they hired a researcher for the Mission Impossible miniseries. So it was Parth something. He was a cool guy, and he went through every commentary, every piece of media about the movies, every piece of the press tour and stuff, every interview. McQuarrie apparently loves to do interviews, not just for Light the Fuse, but if you invite him, he will show up and be like, yeah, I love talking about movies, what up? It's like, yeah, I get that, man. I get that.
Very cute.
It's like why you and TC are married. That's great. Good for you. Okay, so hello, my name is Arcturus. You can call me Archie.
What an intro. Hi, my name is Punct, aka Punct.
And this is the other half of our starter double feature. You might be starting here. You might have started with Mission Impossible 3.
Haterade hour.
The Haterade hour. Yeah, if only it was only an hour, buddy.
That's true.
We didn't get the good line from Zen until an hour and a half in. God. So we picked to do these two together because they're opposite energy. That's like we really did not like MI3. We really love Ghost Protocol, and I think it's an interesting contrast to MI3 specifically because of how it creates the team and how good it is and how the camera work is good and stuff like that.
Everything, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much everything. So, fuck it. Let's get started. Okay. So, for folks at home, I'm hitting play now. And this time, I will actually say when the Paramount logo vanishes. I'm paying attention.
Didn't really understand what you were doing at the time, so I did not get that.
See, the stars are flying around. There's Paramount. And fade out. Okay. That way people can synchronize it. That's how I used to do it when they had commentary reels from the MST3K guys, and they went and did their own thing, riff tracks, and
That's pretty cool.
They told you how to sync up.
Huh, I like that.
Yeah. Skydance, the first of Skydance, yay!
Wait, really?
Yes, this was the first really big thing that they did, and they've produced every Mission Impossible going forward.
How do you know so much about movie production? I know specifically Mission Impossible, but that's so interesting. I don't know.
When I get hyperfixated on something, I get approximate knowledge of all things. I'm just already so excited. This is such a good intro. Mm-hmm. I love stupid IMF gadgets.
Yeah, it's so good. I love that it clearly does still hurt.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And look, it's a person who is trying to be stealthy and is using a handgun because he's an actual fucking IMF agent.
Mm-hmm.
I really do love this as the mission statement of the movie. He looked down at his phone, and that's why he died. Because technology is advanced, but also it sucks.
Yeah, that is interesting.
That was
I can
Brad
respect
Bird.
a Luddite position.
Isn't it funny that, like, Brad Bird is the guy who wanted to do that, and this is his first live-action movie after being a Pixar director.
Huh.
Yeah. It's his whole idea of, like, yeah, technology's cool, except it fucking breaks constantly, and my life is hell.
Actually, going from Pixar and having that take makes sense. I bet anyone in animation feels that way.
He did The Incredibles and Ratatouille, and that's why TC picked him.
That's fascinating.
Not true. J.J. Abrams texted him in an elevator, "Mission? Do you want to do Mission Impossible?" And that's how I got the job. I already know way too much about this movie.
It's great. I'm just going to shut up for this one and let you talk a lot.
I'm so sorry. No.
It's great.
We have to obsess about, like, Ethan's fucking physicality in this entire sequence, because...
Okay, well, then I will go back and say the moment where he's throwing the rock and it hits
amazing.
a different spot every time is very sweet. It's just...
It's so chef's kiss. Like, yes, this is... I know who this is immediately. We have reached, the McQuarrie Ethan Hunt, and I'm so thrilled. So, we all know that this movie was, like, stitched together from different parts, and then a lot of, like, grease was added by McQuarrie. I do think it's supposed to be that Ethan knows it's Benji, even though it doesn't, like, make sense because of that fucking kiss.
I think it must have been the music. I think it's implied that there was some predetermined, like, thing that Ethan has memorized that with this song he has to get to the extraction point by the time the music ends or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's a thing that maybe he's done with Benji. I don't know.
Well, he doesn't know Benji's a field agent yet.
Yeah, but maybe Benji was part of a mission where they did that, even if Benji was back in tech.
Oh yeah, because he would have known Benji before MI3 as well. I keep forgetting that. Because we only meet him in MI3. I like, he's like, shit's happening. I don't give a fuck. I'm bouncing my rock. I'm focused on my one task. Okay, are you pro or anti long hair, Ethan?
I'm just a disagreeer. I just want to disagree with whatever somebody says. So if they say long hair is bad, I'm like, I don't know, it's not that bad. And if someone says the short hair is bad, I'm like, the short hair is pretty good, actually.
I'm so obsessed with that fucking silent leap. What the fuck?
It's so good.
It's, like, this already is just a feast for my eyes. Like, fucking physicality porn, the entire
Also,
movie.
I love how he still looks so young compared to him in Fallout.
We still have a long way to go.
Yeah.
He still has so much more innocence to lose.
I love this bitchy little face.
Is directly into camera. Like, already, this is such a fucking good establishing character moment.
I never get over him looking at the guards and being like, ugh, look what I'm dealing with. So fucking good.
I love his eyes on me. I love it so much. I could just watch him move. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I love every time Tom Cruise is short.
I love also that he does not fight that guy. He's just like, I don't give a shit if you're taller than me. Like, fuck it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna posture here. That's the thing. Like, we just got out of MI3, which has, like, a lot of, like, weird, like, gun-shooty masculinity stuff. And here now we're getting into the, like, the Ethan I love, where it's like, nah, not really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is where the performativity either changes or in some ways, like, disappears in that same form, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he becomes far more genuine.
Yes! Like, he'll put it on when he needs to, though I'm, like, I'm literally thinking, like, in the next 3 movies, when does he put on a lot of masculinity? Maybe kind of with the White Widow?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too.
Yeah, where he's being the bad guy. But mostly Ethan doesn't have fucking patience for that shit anymore. And it's delightful. And it makes me happy.
Yeah, actually, that makes me think there's specifically an interesting journey, because we were talking about Ethan's character journey in the last commentary. I think there's a very interesting journey specifically in relation to Ethan and masculinity. Like, MI1 is like, he has this really traumatic experience in a way that is very, for lack of a better word, like, femininely gendered, you know?
Yes.
It's like, it's this sort of, like, sexual betrayal.
Yes.
And then you have basically him overcompensating for that in MI2 and 3, where he's like, oh, I will be this hyper-masculine figure. And then this is like him basically being like, okay, I'm not over that trauma, but I've realized that that's not a healthy coping mechanism for me now.
Yeah, because it's not really him. Like, especially MI2 is just like, okay, wow, who are you? You are putting on some kind of mask here.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's like, I can't wait until we get to MI1 and, like, the fucking sexual politics of that movie, because the queer reading of that movie is incredible.
I cannot fucking wait for that.
But, like, now we've reached a point where, like, remember when we watched MI2, the silent cut, and we're like, whoa, there was that moment of, like, weird sexualized violence, like that one little implication, and we're like, whoa, in Mission Impossible? Whoa! And this is why it was so weird, is because, like, no, we don't do that here from pretty much this moment on. It doesn't happen. Because it's very Metal Gear Solid when you think about it.
Of course it is, Art. Of course it's very Metal Gear Solid.
It's like
twist.
The inverse. In the way that Kojima puts everybody under that sexualized spotlight, we now get to, you know, McQuarrie era Ethan, where nobody gets
Ethan's eyes. And it's because we're seeing it through Ethan's eyes, and Ethan at this point is like at his peak asexual.
Wow, that is an interesting thing I've never considered.
Yeah.
I've never really considered, like, I've always found Mission Impossible to be more of a voyeuristic experience of, like, observing Ethan. And that's, like, part of his, like, the metatextual thing between Tom Cruise and the audience, I think. Because he's like, come with me, we're gonna have fun, I'm gonna show you something incredible, come with me.
But it's sort of like, again, if we're thinking about it as, like, an Era of Light thing, like, he is the center of the narrative, right? He is, like, the thing that the narrative is built around. So even though it is voyeuristic, it's like, oh,
I guess I'm like, does he control the camera?
Exactly. It's like, we're not going to have sexualization of these characters because Ethan, at this point, is no longer sexualized. Like, he is not a sexual being in the same way.
I'm nodding. I think the camera admires him a lot, but I think you're also right, because, like, especially when you get to Rogue Nation and, like, him and Ilsa don't kiss. Their final goodbye is a hug, and it's like, whoa, what the fuck? That's so strange.
It's very good.
Wait, do they even kiss in Fallout? No, they don't. Huh,
I don't think
that's
they
wild.
do.
Interesting. Oh my god, the gender politics of Ethan Hunt.
I like that this is also setting up the fact that all of the McQuarrie movies are about Ethan adopting people. Because he
yes,
adopts
I was literally
Bogdan.
about to say that. Yes, he imprints on people. It's like, yes, I'm going to protect this person. And it gives him such problems later. Yeah. It is hilarious that we start here and we wind up with the French cop that fucks up that whole mission.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I love plot arcs and character arcs. They're so good.
Yeah. Was that part of how you chose your name?
No.
Oh, it's just a nice coincidence.
Yeah, I do get that a lot, though, yeah. A lowercase arc versus an uppercase.
Uh-huh. Oh, and that line is because they didn't actually know what was happening when they were shooting this.
Oh my god! Yeah. That's... Because now he has to explain the actual plot. Oh my god. Speaking of interesting gender stuff that
I know.
Like, the fact that we're gonna fridge the male love interest for the female main character to have, like, development, just, fucking chef's kiss. Love it.
Yeah, it is an I'm so glad you pointed that out, like, right at the beginning when you're first getting obsessed with these movies, and it was such a good selling point for me. Like, it is, like, Jane Carter gets to be, like, every male, like, spy character.
And it's literally, like, the point, like, she bonds with Ethan, because she's so not the love interest. They are buddies, and they have that, like, deep sit-down and talking about, like, their feelings about having lost people. It's like, oh my god. I love the gender politic of the later Mission Impossible so much. She's great. Benji, what happened to your facial hair? Put it back. It helps define your face.
I didn't like the facial hair of the last one, though. I think the beard that he gets in later movies is good. I was not a fan of the little mini beard.
Oh, in MI3 or Fallout?
No, in MI3.
Okay. I understand that. If you said you didn't like his look in Fallout, we would have to meet outside the Denny's. Look, they're doing... Oh, it's so refreshing to see people not having Kalashnikovs.
Yeah.
This is what the IMF is.
This is actually interesting. Do we have any other movie examples, except for maybe, like, the alternate team in the first movie? Do we have any examples of seeing other IMF teams work that are not Ethan's team?
I know that in MI2, I think the villain is former IMF.
Yeah.
So hard to say.
Yeah.
And that's it, yeah. And in this, Brandt is technically former IMF. Or he's a former agent.
But, like, this is the only time we see an IMF, like, operation that is not Ethan's, or is not related to Ethan's.
Mm-hmm. And, like, the thing you were saying, like, the camera belongs to Ethan for these movies, the fact that it goes to Carter completely here is like, yes, because she's taking the role that usually belongs to a male character. It's awesome!
Exactly.
Touching the air.
It makes me feel like there should be more fic that does stuff with Carter after this movie. You know, like, there are plenty of fics where she shows up, but I want her to have, like, a full character arc after this movie.
Yeah. Though I do like that she does get, like, a full arc in this movie. Like, she works through it, and it's good.
She does, but she doesn't end on, like, a very happy note, you know? Like, it's like, I'll keep fighting, basically. But I want her to be, like, have some resolution. Mm-hmm.
But in the same way, Ethan never does. And that's why they're besties. Because they understand each other.
Ark, you're so right. God damn it.
I know that this plot was stitched together. I want to sit with McQuarrie. I have so many questions. Like, did you do this on purpose? Did you make her a mirror of Ethan on purpose? My guy? Here's my tin hat, and it has a picture of McQuarrie on it. And it's in the shape of his beautiful hair.
Interesting.
I love the baby with the pipe. That's good poster.
Wait, I didn't even notice that.
It's off to his left.
Skull. Okay, I'll have
Skull's pretty good. How would you transfer Ethan?
Transfer him where?
Yeah, like, where's his home base? Also, it took me so many times to figure out, like, the compressed timeline of this fucking movie. Like, he got out at, like, midnight last night, and he's gonna break into the Kremlin by the afternoon. It's like, okay, yeah. All right.
Honestly, I feel like that's another thing that's pretty common in the McQuarrie movies, is they're very often super compressed timelines.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think works really well.
Yeah, Fallout does the same thing. Rogue Nation is pretty stretched out.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. It takes place over months. And I feel like it's implied that Ethan and Benji are, like, traveling together for a while.
At the beginning.
We'll see when we watch that one. I feel like it. This fucking. It's he hit this baby with the pipe on the left. There you go.
I do see the baby with the pipe. Sort of looks like.
Oh my god! There was another poster and it said "Immaculate Machine."
Oh hell yeah!
I see you, Brad Bird. That's great.
I think that the baby with the pipe looks sort of like the girl in Russian Doll.
Oh yeah. Oh, baby Benji.
Benji. He's so cute.
Oh, I love his arc from going from this nervous newbie field agent to so fucking tired.
Yeah. I am excited to see how McQuarrie pulls off the moments of levity that I'm sure he's going to bring to Dead Reckoning. I'm just interested to see how he does it.
Me too. Man, remember back when we could film in Russia? We can't film in Russia anymore.
Nope.
Oh my god. Benjamin, please.
Why is he wearing glasses that are basically invisible? It's a very interesting, like, design choice for this character look.
He would look so much better in hormones. We know this.
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, you want to be low-key, right? Like, when he's going to the opera. But also,
doesn't he want to cover his face more?
Yeah, I guess. I just feel like if I saw a Benji in hormones, I would just gaze longingly into his eyes. But I wouldn't if he's in wire rims, you know?
Even if he didn't have a beard, you would still gaze longingly?
I would not, no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I am shallow.
Yeah.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
I mean, that would definitely also be how I would react in my first day on the job like this.
God. We know he's at least done one other mission because he worked with Carter.
It's true.
But, man.
It's just he's had this crush now for how many years? Like
for a few.
5?
I forget when.
Doesn't this go on 2011?
No, I think that's MI. It's at the top of our fic document.
I know. I can't remember. Anyway, clearly he's had this crush for a very long time. So I think that is valid, that he basically is very nervous on this. Basically, this series is about Benji making a fool of himself because he's nervous around his crush.
See, I think a little bit of Rogue Nation, it's reversed, but that's me. It is not so much his crush as like, no, I'm Ethan and I'm going to protect my best friend who is also kind of my boyfriend, I guess.
Yeah, Rogue Nation is like, he's gotten over the crush and now he's just like, oh, this is my husband, I will do anything for him.
Mm-hmm. Really, when you think about it, Rogue Nation is just a Betty and Veronica situation.
I don't know what that means.
In Archie comics, like, the whole thing was like he had 2 love interests. One was a blonde and one was had black hair. Betty and Veronica.
Oh, okay.
I think the blonde was Betty, so I guess that's Benji. And Ilsa is Veronica. And he says yes to both, I guess.
Uh-huh. I love that interface that shows it brute forcing it. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, same. And we get our mandatory silent sequence, our De Palma moment.
Well, we still have music at this point. But I do love all these little gadgets.
I can't get over the fucking droplet maker, the sound. It's like, I have a device that when I squeeze it, it makes a water droplet sound.
See, that was why Benji liked his job. Benji's old job was inventing those things.
And now he gets to use all this bullshit.
I love the hand on his shoulder.
Yeah, I'm trying to assess, is Ethan more touchy now that we're past prison? Oh my god, Benji. Ethan's face is such a fucking journey. Of like, I really appreciate this, but also fucking not the time, my man. Someone expressing sympathy to me, but not now. This would work on me. If I heard a fucking droplet happening, I would immediately get up and investigate.
I think this little thingamajig that they've got is the coolest gadget in Mission Impossible. I really do. I think this is the coolest.
But it can't handle more than one person. It is so easily...
it can be specialized. That doesn't make it not cool.
The fact that, like, they planned this specifically, and they're like, yeah, here's what we need. We need the giant bed sheet that emulates the environment based off of the eyesight of a single person.
They had to, because, like you're saying, this happened in an afternoon. They couldn't go back to IMF for more supplies. They had to have this with them.
Uh-huh. There's, like, they had a cache somewhere, and they're like, okay, let's see what we got here. And this is what they picked.
In fact, whoever filled that cachet, which is obviously on a train car, is the real hero of this protocol. It was McQuarrie. McQuarrie filled that train car, and he's the best.
Yes. Anytime you didn't know who was carrying you, it was McQuarrie. I'm gonna make myself choke on my drink. I always, like, appreciate that they do these fucking sequences. Like, you're in a movie theater and for 5 minutes it's That just must be so nerve-wracking.
Yeah, are you ready for the Dead Reckoning one? We're gonna fucking die.
Oh my god, I have no idea what it is.
I don't either, but it's gonna be in there. We know it is.
Oh my god. I can't even imagine how fucking great that's gonna be.
I know. It's gonna be just the tensest shit in the world.
It's July the 3rd and we're waiting to die in 9 days.
Sorry if this audio catches my cat purring now. He's gonna sit on my lap for a bit.
It's perfect. Just make sure it's timed to when Ethan is on the screen, because as we've established, canonically, he is a cat.
Yes.
I've seen people say that he's like a very loyal dog, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but no.
I see. Okay, here's my theory. I think young Ethan is a cat and old Ethan is a dog.
But he's like a very, very old dog. Very, very sweet one.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the tiredness is very much like... There was some post that I rewatched at some point that's like, that wonderful shelter dog who sometimes just, like, sighs really heavy as he lies on the couch, like he's been through the world. That's Ethan in the later movies.
I would buy that, because, man, he has those vibes in Fallout, that's for sure.
Yeah. So that's my theory. I think that prison turns Ethan from a cat into a dog.
We're getting into really deep cinematic theory here. I like how all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, we're being infiltrated, but they're really shit at it. They're really, really bad at it. They're like telling us exactly where they are and everything.
Yeah, it's very good.
This is the best way for this to fail. It's so smart.
Uh-huh. I love that moment is actually the most pivotal in the whole movie. Mm-hmm. It's just Ethan walking past a guy. That's what was missing in MI3, right? It was like the most pivotal moment was like
Ethan
shooting
has
guns.
A gun. Yeah. And this, he's a spy. He's a guile hero. It's perfect. Brad Bird understood. Like his little, I gotta get the fuck out of here jog.
His moment where he changes costumes
So
is good. My fucking favorite. I adore it.
The way he completely transforms is so fucking good.
It's like he becomes a completely different person.
Uh-huh. He's just now a lost dad who's a tourist. It's so good. Also, it was the first day of filming, this whole sequence.
Really?
The escaping the Kremlin is the first day of filming.
Oh, shit.
So this is how you start. Hell yeah.
I really want that fucking jacket. Can you imagine that? A bomber jacket, if that's reversible on the other side, it's a military jacket. That would be so fucking cool.
Also, they couldn't initially get the rights for the Bruce Springsteen shirt, so obviously Tom Cruise used to live next to Bruce Springsteen, so he just called him up to get a permission.
Fucking course! Oh my god! I love your facts arc.
Thank you. Outrun the explosion, boy.
It's worked for him in the past.
It has. This is a whole movie of Ethan trying to outrun things that he sadly cannot.
Yeah, honestly, I remember being really surprised the first time I saw this, because I thought he would be able to outrun the explosion. Like, I expected it to basically stop at some point and him to keep running. And the fact that it didn't was really surprising to me.
Because we've now reached tired Ethan. Oh, my favorite. Well, that's not great. Still such a stupid trick that I love.
It's so good.
Yep. His brain has to come online enough that he can translate.
Okay, that's another example of the camera being him, though, right?
It is.
Like, that's Ethan is the camera.
Yeah, you are right. And, like, De Palma, like, literalized it with the walking camera trick, so, yeah.
Yeah.
I know I say this every fucking time we watch this movie, and we trick other people into watching it, but this guy is fucking nothing. Like, if he was KGB, Ethan would be already out of a window. He'd be dead. But he's not, so you're not
just
scary.
Like a cop. Yeah,
yeah.
He's just like... I love that even the nurse can boss him around.
Yeah, like, this... Like, come on. Come on. You ain't KGB, you ain't shit. You're like a fucking traffic cop. You just bought a leather jacket.
We have to point out the moment that we have seen in other versions of this movie, like when we've watched it before, where you can actually see him get out of the bed. You have to keep
I only have caught it twice, because it's so fast. I love the continuity. He can still read lips in Russian. Fucking... I just realized he's doing it in Russian. And... Okay, there he is. There it went.
Yep.
It's so fast. Good. For the longest time, I just thought, like, that wasn't practical.
Yeah.
Because I never caught it.
Okay, Ark, I have a really, really strong opinion about this scene.
Okay.
I think Ethan has this planned out basically from the beginning. I think he is completely bullshitting this beat cop when he's pretending that he won't jump in the trash.
He's waiting for a car?
He's waiting for a car to come by to distract him, so that otherwise he'll just shoot him once he's in the trash. He's waiting for a distraction. And so he's playing off that he's, like, sort of this, like, young, like, guy who doesn't know what he's doing and sort of, like, got himself in too deep.
Mm-hmm. He's making eye contact with the thing that's obviously not his escape route because he'd fucking die.
Uh-huh.
You know? I buy it because Ethan is back to being a full, like, guile hero.
And the thing is, as soon as the car comes by, he immediately grabs his belt. See?
And he's ready.
Yeah, and he's immediately scoping it out. Yeah, I 100% believe that he knows this plan, basically, from the moment he steps out.
Though I don't think he intended to land this badly.
Probably not, no.
Oh, Jesus. Oh.
Although he manages okay, he just gets up and fucking runs away.
Yeah, that worked. He's like, oh, I still got it. Okay.
Also, you know what boggled my mind when I realized it? There's a shirtless scene in Fallout, even though Tom Cruise in that movie is how old?
Where is his shirtless scene?
When he's escaping. Oh no, that's Rogue Nation. When he has to get out from the place where Ilsa saves him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still, that's only a couple years difference. I'm still shocked.
113 Alpha 113 is Brad Bird's little, like, stamp. It's in all his movies.
Oh,
I think it's a Pixar thing, but I don't know enough about Pixar.
So is that why he's not BE11?
Yeah, because McQuarrie, like me, cares more about continuity.
Yeah.
It's one hell of a gas explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's using Anya. I like it that's the diminutive form. I really, really like Russian and Slavic diminutives. The NYA just sounds really nice.
Definitely won't be thinking about that with your rewrite of K-Tal for sure.
It is in K-Tal for sure. This poor guy.
Yeah.
This poor Sokolov guy.
Also, just appreciate how long this shot is.
Oh my god, isn't it nice to be in a movie that allows us to, like, sit with a shot? That lets the camera move in a smooth way.
Yeah.
Excellent. You're not my son, unless you grew up very fast. And got evil at some point.
Oh, it's the guy! I didn't... Oh, holy shit, there is actually a guy.
Excuse me?
No, the guy who was holding the gun, I've never looked at his face before.
He's the guy from later, yeah.
From later. I literally... I thought that was just a made-up guy.
I love Ethan is apparently walking with no socks. Like, honey, go steal some socks.
Yeah, poor guy. Maybe...
Also, what is this, like, leather hoodie thing? How did you find that?
I assume it's one of those things where it's like, it's a hoodie, sewed into a leather jacket. I don't think the hood is leather.
That whole thing is soft leather. He's wearing a leather hoodie. I'm firm on it. And on the inside, it's probably leather too. That fucker chafes. And he's shirtless still. Hi, Brant. The only man in this series that's more tired than Ethan.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to shake your fucking hand.
Also, you can tell that they didn't have his backstory worked out here, because if they had, he would have reacted very differently to seeing Ethan again.
You're right. God, it's so fucking funny. Here, I drew this on my hand. He's a white guy in Europe. Who is he?
Yeah, it's so
really
good.
I love it. I do love it.
I also love that Ethan is like a profiler level of sketch artist on his hand with a pen in 3 seconds.
And he keeps doing it throughout this. He does it in Rogue Nation too. It's great.
It's so good.
And it's nuanced enough that Luther can tell when he likes the person. It's so fucking good.
And that I love that Luther is also able to pull facial recognition off of it, because he's just that good.
He's Ethan Hunt. Yeah. Well, if you guys were better at keeping it a fucking secret...
I think that line about the Cuban Missile Crisis is actually pretty important for this movie. I think that a lot of it is basically just like a period piece about the Cuban Missile Crisis, except make it Mission Impossible and make it in 2011.
Mm-hmm. So fucking good. I don't want to be assaulted today.
Brand is so tired already.
This is so fucking good. You could have just said terrorist, my guy, but that's fine. This movie is such a fucking comedy. It's so good.
I'm confused by what the other 6 things in there are. They're not thumb drives. We've established that in another viewing. But what the fuck are the other 6 missions in that little carrier case for? Is that in case he identified a different guy off his hand? Like, what?
Oh my god. No! This fucking shot is so fucking good! Thank you! Oh, I love movies. I'm such a fan of movies in general.
You know who else is a fan of movies?
Who?
Both Christopher McQuarrie and Tom Cruise.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Big movie fans.
Yeah? Uh-huh. What are you saying? Are you gonna insult me again? Is that what we're doing?
No. Just
okay.
noticing.
Noticing
quick.
You're just connecting lines.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just a bunch of dudes with just Kalashnikovs. It's just how you go fishing in this part of Russia, I guess.
And I love that the beat cop, when he shows up, is like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And they're like, "Dude, this is what we always do." And he's like,
this is a Friday night for us. I'm just so happy Ethan's back. Yeah. I just really am.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's an Ethan Hunt-ass move.
Yeah. In the last movie, literally he had this same problem. A whole bunch of people were shooting him with automatic guns, and he just fucking shot back, which is completely not Ethan.
Mm-hmm. Should write all of them up for noise complaints. Noise violations for everyone. Sergey. He's really cute and we like him. Also, man, Ethan must be so uncomfortable in his leather hoodie that is now wet.
Right?
No socks.
No socks. Wet shoes, no socks, literally the fucking worst thing you can imagine.
He was in prison 24 hours ago.
That was probably way better than this.
Yeah, he was having fun. Oh, this is such a fucking... I love it.
I really appreciate this, and I appreciate, again, McQuarrie, because you know that this would have been a weird moment if Brant had actually taken over the series, right? If he'd been the new Ethan Hunt. This would have been a weird moment. But the fact that he is actually demonstrably different than Ethan, that he ends up being the analyst or sort of like the commander guy, rather than the one on the ground. He's very
bureaucratic. Yeah. He's the bureaucrat who knows what it's like to actually get shot at. Mm-hmm. Oh my god. Fucking... Not everything can be my favorite scene, but this is my favorite.
This is a very good scene. I love how they're running in the wrong direction. They're so...
Another instance of technology being stupid. It's a fucking retinal scanner on the side of a moving train.
It's so good.
Oh my god, Brad Bird, I get you.
That's so good. Press enter is so good.
This fucking... Oh my god, Ethan having to jump and like hold himself. I love this scene. There we go. Just hold yourself aloft on your arms.
Also, this is the third fucking retinal scan he's done today.
I love when Tom Cruise is short. 10 out of 10. This is such a good movie.
See, the secretary didn't need to give him another fucking retinal scan.
Fucking Carter did in the back of the van. God, you're right. You're right.
Yep.
People keep trying to look into his beautiful eyes.
Also, I have convinced myself now that is what that packet of little thumb drive looking things are. It's literally just all of the people that the secretary thought could be behind it, and he was just waiting to talk to Ethan to see who Ethan had seen.
Okay. His little perturbed face. Has Ethan changed his shirt yet? Is he still in the wet thing?
No, I think he changed his shirt. Brant being a dumbass.
Such a fucking establishing moment of like Benji looking over and being like, amateur. That's so good. Shirt.
He's in a Henley now.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I was uncomfortable looking at him.
I know, his poor nips.
Stop. It's like, this is my thing, like, Davian did not have this. And yes, this is very, like, it's tacked on.
This is explicitly something that McQuarrie did, was basically this exact thing.
Yes. They did not have this before McQuarrie. Wow, even that was 2 days ago. Holy shit, this is such a compressed timeline. It's so good. He super got shot in the head, and then I shoved a flare into his sleeve and pushed him into the water to get shot some more.
He doesn't say that part. Brand knows, though. Brand's thinking about it.
Yeah. And I at the duck, they're like, no, it was the driver. And I'm like, nah, it was Tom Wilkinson. Yeah.
Yeah, he very clearly pulls him out of the cab.
Mm-hmm.
Like, out of the back with them.
The hair is good in this moment, I will admit. Not as good as Brant's sweater. That's such a fucking good sweater.
It's too good, honestly. I'm a little mad about how good that sweater is.
Yep.
Honestly, all of their outfits are really good. It makes me sort of happy about the chances that IMF safe houses are stocked really, really well. You know, like, that's a good thing to have in your back pocket thick-wise, that, like, there's gonna be a comfy sweater at the IMF safe house.
That's always good. Yeah, you gotta have that. You can't plot if you're not comfy. Mm-hmm. Also, I think I could see his nips through that shirt, and now I'm, like, mad at you for... You
didn't notice in the very first... In the prison shot of this movie, I thought, oh my god, his nips.
Yes, that one was very blatant. This is dark. It took me a while to realize. I love Ethan looking at Benji here. Because he's like, Benji, come on. I expect more of you. It's rough to be Benji because Ethan already has picked him out as, like, one of his people. So you could disappoint Ethan already.
It's like being in the Gifted program.
Yes! Oh, fuck! Oh, trauma from childhood.
Yeah, right?
Fucking, yeah, pack what we need. I'm gonna grab the thing that changes the door numbers on hotel. I fucking love Benji.
Although, okay, to be fair, they did know they were going to Dubai at this point. So maybe it does make a little bit more sense why they chose to bring that.
I can't believe you just justified the device that we have to change door numbers. I can't believe you've done this. Wow. You're right, though.
I am right, unfortunately. I'm so sorry.
You're defending Benji. We're always talking about Ethan's physicality, but, like, Brant is really great with his, like, I'm curled up. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm very small. Please be kind to me.
He is a very small little boy.
Yeah.
I love Benji so much. Also, I love this outfit that he wears at the before he has to put on the fake hotel attendant outfit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And, like, we've reached this point. I already love all of these people. Like,
I love that moment too, specifically, where she can't think of the word, and then he's like, oh, you're pointing out the camels. I fucking love that.
They have such fucking great chemistry already. It's so good.
The team in this movie is so fucking good.
Yeah. Incredible.
Which is surprising because it actually doesn't include Luther, who is usually such an important member of the team.
Mm-hmm. Because this was almost the one that didn't have Luther. Thank God they fixed it.
Yeah.
Look at all these douchebag sunglasses.
And yet still not as bad as the sunglasses in MI2.
True. His little, like, putting his fingers to his mouth because he's nervous. He's like, "Aw, I'm fucked up."
That's such a good line. Yusuf doesn't exist anymore, neither does we.
This is the scene where his mom hair is... Sorry, his MILF hair is at its peak.
Thank you for correcting yourself.
I know, yeah. I wouldn't want to upset our friends who decided that this is the one where Ethan is a MILF.
Oh, and I guess from watching that video you sent me, I understand now why they ended up filming it at floor 148. It's because the higher floors, I assume, are the ones that weren't developed yet.
Yeah, and they can get in there.
Mm-hmm.
How many windows did they take out? 36?
I don't remember.
I
will, however, point this out again when we watch MI1. If they just had the little suckers with the turning thing that they used successfully in MI1 rather than these shitty things, which is, again, now that you pointed it out, this is Brad Bird being like, tech sucks. They could have had it so easy.
Yep. Analog is better than digital.
Yeah.
It's more reliable. I still love the little moment of, like, shoving the things into his back pocket. Mm-hmm. It's, like, such a nice detail. I don't know why. It's not that it's presumptuous, but I like it.
I love Benji's just little, go man, his little, like, and that's so good.
Here we are with Ethan in his Pilates outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Not my joke, stolen from our very funny friends. Man, could you imagine seeing this in IMAX and the camera finally going to full size at this point in the movie?
Yeah, that's
and you didn't realize that the screen was smaller than the maximum size until now. Oh.
Yeah, it would have felt literally life-changing, I feel like.
When you think about it, it's a bit like Homestuck.
We need an ARC bingo for this.
I just want to make sure you heard. I said it's like Homestuck. Yeah, because it's like Cascade
first. No, it's you first. You that's you. That's all you. You're the Homestuck here.
Not going to be here with me on the fact that this is our Cascade moment. You know, when you think about it, Cascade was really the turning point of Homestuck in the same way that the Burj Khalifa sequence. I can't fucking finish that sentence.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry for people who are listening and don't know what the fuck Homestuck is about. Just, quickly read Homestuck. It's fine.
Yeah. Or just watch Cascade. You'll totally get it.
No, you won't.
Can we recut this sequence to Cascade and see how it fits? I fucking love Brant.
Benji.
He's like, I did it bad. He's out there. Oh, the fucking detail of how you could see him move the glass with each impact. Mm-hmm. Oh. It's so stressful. This is such a fucking stressful sequence. Like, my guy, why are you like this? Oh my god. I wonder how many times I need to watch this movie before this stops making me just lean my head in my hand.
I'm also doing that exact same motion right now. That's so funny.
It's so stressful.
That's actually very Pixar. That moment is very fucking Pixar.
Oh, yeah. I love him, like, holding on with one hand and just looking up through the door. Almost as much as I hate this part. Oh, God, did you see the behind the scenes? And he's sitting there, and he was in an extra harness, and I was like, oh, that's great! And then they unclipped the fucking harness and took it away from him. Oh my god. This movie is agony.
It's so good, though.
It's such a fucking good movie. I just had a moment of that's actually Dubai behind him. That's actually the city behind him. I'm like, oh, God. Product placement so that you know you can easily hack Adele.
Oh, yeah. That's actually a good question. I wonder what type of phones the IMF is shown as using and or hacking, right? Because it's famously that you can't show a villain use an iPhone.
Yes. In the next movie, they're using Windows phones.
That's hilarious.
Back for 5 minutes when those were a thing.
That is really, really funny. Maybe actually IMF made the Windows phone, and that was why it didn't last very long, was because it was IMF.
It's only for their agents, so they're unhackable. Brit, you're the worst.
Can you explain to me what on earth that was doing in a server room?
It's cabling.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, he's throwing a cable out the window.
I didn't fucking realize that.
I mean, I assume it's a cable with some kind of, like, coating on it.
Uh-huh.
Because that's what I would expect in a server room.
I thought it was some sort of, like fabric thing. It looked
it does
2D,
look fabric-y.
But you're right. If it's cabling, that makes a lot more sense.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Such a good line. That's also a very MILF line. This is also incredibly aerial.
This is gorgeous.
Okay, see. This is what I'm saying about he doesn't need physics, right? He didn't need to do a physics, like, calculation to know when he had to let go of that rope.
Okay, to be fair, he didn't do the calculation, and he banged his fucking head and probably has a lingering concussion. If he got out the chalk, maybe that wouldn't have happened.
It didn't fit in his back pocket.
You're adorable, Benji. Oh, it's fucking fantastic.
So good.
Oh, best movie. Gee, it's almost like the technology in this movie sucks. That's a drinking game that'll kill you. Take a shot every time the technology sucks.
That's a really... Actually, I appreciate that, because I was sort of annoyed with Brandt. I was like, why don't you be better at, like, ignoring how scratchy that contact is? Like, everybody deals with it at some point. Like...
It's so fucking good. He's so useful. We don't have a fucking satellite uplink, so let's show the picture to Brandt, who knows every person on the planet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I did not realize that Wistrom was an actual guy. Wait, Wistrom is the bad guy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is Hendricks, but it's actually Wistrom. It's confusing.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it's Hendricks it's Wistrom who looks like Hendricks.
Yes. Oh, no. No, they just called him Wistrom. Okay, so Hendricks is the bad guy. Wistrom is the second in command.
Okay. Okay, the mission is Hendricks. Okay, because I thought that Wistrom was literally just like a fake alias he made up for himself.
Because it's so fucking confusing and superfluous.
Because it's so... Okay, but I have to tell you when we get to that point, you did get from, again, the Light the Fuse podcast, you do actually get McQuarrie's take on that. Yes, it is a leftover from an old footage, but there is a reason that he gives that I think makes sense.
I would love to know, because, okay, here's the thing that was in Eye of the Duck, is that they said that all the people who have been questioned about this cannot explain why the fuck Hendricks is disguised as Wistrom for this sequence. Like, so, why not just go as himself? What is McQuarrie's justification?
McQuarrie says it was true that it wasn't done on purpose, that it was just sort of like, shit, we fucked up, basically.
Yeah.
But he said the explanation that he came through after the fact was Hendricks is a step ahead of everybody. Hendricks knows that he is the mission, and that if Ethan knew he was just there in that room, that there would be no sort of stakes anymore. He wouldn't be keeping everybody alive because all he wants is Hendricks. So if he goes in as Wistrom, then it means that they're all still trying to get after Hendricks.
I hate Christopher McQuarrie. Because he's right.
So good!
That makes perfect sense. The fucking goggles. Also, do up one more button, Ethan, come on.
He wants to distract them with his slutty chest hair. Except, does Ethan ever have chest hair?
No, we see him fully shirtless in Rogue Protocol multiple times.
He's fully shirtless in this movie earlier. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm.
Let Ethan have chest hair.
maybe he can't. I mean, some people just can't.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
Are you implying that Ethan waxes?
Well, I'm implying that the Teen Wolf effect is happening.
What the fuck is the Teen Wolf effect?
As in, men who have every reason to have chest hair are not allowed to have chest hair, like, on an either character or actor basis, because the aesthetic of the time period is anti-body hair.
You know what this means.
You have to watch Teen Wolf now?
No, fuck you. We have to go watch more Tom Cruise movies and compare.
Yeah, that's true, we do.
We might just have to go and ask male wife Bill Cage, because I'm sure they know. I'm sure they could tell us.
Yeah, for sure.
Can we get a comparative history of Tom Cruise's chest?
I feel like we should just send that ask as is to male wife Bill Cage. Mar would love that. Mm-hmm.
Every time I think I've seen this movie enough times, we find new things.
Uh-huh.
I'll admit, the hair is very good in this sequence. I love it. I love that it's all about her and her trauma and how she's gonna fucking kill this person. I didn't realize that happened 4 days ago.
Yeah.
God. She's not had any time to fucking process. Of course she's gonna kill her.
Yeah.
I'm so much more on her side now that I realize that, like, they went from their mission to picking up Ethan to this.
Also, I want to point out a moment here where Wistrom doesn't know how to open the case, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's this weird... Anyway, I'll point it out when we get there.
Okay.
It's another leftover from a previous version of the script.
Okay. Is it back when they didn't know what the fuck was in the case?
Yes.
I can't believe that was the original plot. Because technology.
I think McQuarrie literally came on partway through shooting the Burj scene, the Burj shoot. I'm pretty sure.
I thought they got to Vancouver and basically had to backtrack and, like, go and do pickups everywhere.
Maybe that's it. But he was definitely in Dubai, because there's a mention of it in, like, The Fuse. He's joking with Simon, and he says, "Remember that time we were both on the bed together in Dubai?"
Mm-hmm. And then they're like, "Yeah, totally normal."
See,
as we always do.
Where he gets territorial and he won't let her open it for him. That is because originally what she really wanted was just to see inside the case.
Yeah. This is what I mean, that, like, I love this movie. It is kind of a mess, but it pulls through on charm.
Yeah. I kind of like it more because it's this sort of, like, weird, like, production nightmare puzzle piece thing. I like it more because of that.
Yeah. Because, it is Cruise and Bird's fault. They were like, "Oh, we'll figure it out later."
Uh-huh.
And then they didn't.
Yeah.
Until they were 10 weeks in, and you basically, like, hit the, press this button in case of emergency, and McQuarrie fell out. Though, to me, it is very funny that TC is like, I have, like, the ultimate, like, emergency, like, parachute pull. if we need it.
Yeah, do we know how TC and McQuarrie met?
Yes. McQuarrie, he got his Oscar for doing The Usual Suspects. He did a really bad film he directed called Way of the Gun, and nobody liked it, so he was in director jail. So he was selling a bunch of different screenplays and doing a bunch of screen doctoring, but was kind of like getting done with Hollywood. He wrote Valkyrie and gave it to Bryan Singer, the noted pedophile. And always gotta denote that. And Tom Cruise saw the script, really, really, really liked it, decided he wanted to produce the movie and star in it. And instead of just, like, having McQuarrie, like, give them the script and then go home, he was like, no, you gotta stay on set with us and help us, right? And, lo, this is how they now do everything.
That's incredible.
He just, like, met McQuarrie and, like, decided he was brilliant and imprinted on him.
So, really... TC read McQuarrie's writing and totally just, like, said, I had to get close to that person. And
made it happen.
Eventually became a collaborator with him. So you're saying that actually I'm Tom Cruise and you're McQuarrie.
Oh, thank God. Thank God you said that. It makes me so happy. This entire sequence is so good. I'm sorry for talking over it. It's great. I love the glare. It's like, now everything is falling apart. And that's also how he got into doing Rogue Nation. So... Okay, I really like this detail that he loses connection with Benji because it's a tall fucking hotel. You're gonna get too far away for fucking walkie-talkies to work. You don't have your Benji. I'm so sorry, Ethan. Okay, so Rogue Nation got directed by McQuarrie, right? That was because the same thing happened, I think, with Edge of Tomorrow, where... Oh, God, was it Edge of Tomorrow or Jack Reacher? No, they were working on Jack Reacher together, which was also a McQuarrie one, so we have to watch that one eventually. And towards the end of it, Tom was, like, in his hotel room, like, I don't know who is going to direct the next Mission Impossible. We really got to find someone. Paramount is breathing down my neck here. Why don't you do it, Chris? And mostly to shut him up, McQuarrie's like, yeah, whatever, fine, can we get back to work on the script? And Tom was like, who would I call if I wanted to make sure you were the director of the next movie? And he's like, I don't know, the head of Paramount? So Tom Cruise left the room, called the head of Paramount, and walked back in like 10 minutes later. It's like, okay, you're the director of the next one.
Yeah, McQuarrie literally heard him like laughing on the phone with the head of Paramount in the other room, and then he came out, and he was like, all right, sounds good, it's all settled.
It's so... Does he tell that fucking story on Light the Fuse, too? Oh my God. Like, that's just it. Like, you're stuck with this man now because he decided he's in love with you and you're going to be dragged into every movie he does. Which is exactly what happened with Edge of Tomorrow.
I have to point out...
Yes.
This does seem to indicate that Tom Cruise also imprints on people like Ethan Hunt does.
I mean, you write what you know. Wait, McQuarrie's the one who keeps writing Ethan doing that.
Oh my God, it goes so deep. There's so many layers. Holy shit.
Write what you know. Like when you get like picked out by a weirdo and they decide they love you, they're like, all right, I'm into this. Sure, let's collaborate. And that's the story now.
Yeah.
You write what you know. Mm-hmm. God, I love this fight. Sorry for talking over it. This is such a fucking great fight.
It's fine. We're supposed to talk over it. We're like, that's the whole point.
But we're not talking about how cool this fucking... That's like, true. It's brutal.
It is brutal. It's very much not a cat fight. And I fucking love that moment where she kicks her out. Because it is so obviously instinctive.
Yep.
Like, I would do that exact same fucking thing.
Yeah.
I have actually instinctively kicked my sister in the face once, and I knocked out one of her teeth because she was tickling me. I was like a young kid. She was tickling me, and I hate tickling, and so I just sort of like flailed out, and I kicked her in the face, and she lost one of her baby teeth.
Oh, well, at least it was a baby tooth. That was basically doing a favor.
Yeah.
Ethan fucking outrunning the sandstorm.
Mm-hmm. I love that the goggles come back. That's just so fucking good.
It is. It's great.
I also love, though, that it doesn't occur to him right away.
Yeah. I love that he has useful things that he might need. Like the little glove in Rogue Nation, which I'm obsessed with now. He has a glove specifically for sliding down ropes.
We have to look carefully to see when he puts that on, because I'm really interested in that as well.
I think I caught it. I'll point it out when we do Rogue Nation.
Okay, fantastic.
Have I mentioned I love Ethan Hunt?
Yeah, I also adore Ethan Hunt. I caught that from you.
Mm-hmm. At least, listen, Ethan Hunt baby girl disease is extremely contagious.
Who did you catch it from, though?
I don't know. I just was like, man, I want to watch Mission Impossible again. And I was like, oh shit, are these movies fucking great, actually? And they were, unfortunately.
Yeah, I had never seen them. I had never seen any of them. I think I'd seen part of Ghost Protocol. I'd seen, like, the first scene with my brother-in-law once.
Ghost Protocol was huge on Tumblr back in, like, when it first came out.
Seriously, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was because, like, let's be real, it's because that one line that Brant says towards the end of the movie, and they're like, oh, fandom can work with this.
Oh, yeah, yeah, right, okay.
Uh-huh. Ethan, goddammit. This is so dangerous, you fucking...
Another car wreck, but this time he's the pedestrian. Okay, we should count how many times people pull off part of a mask. Because it's happened twice just in these two movies.
We should also count the number of times that Ethan is foiled by a low clearance over a vehicle. Because it happens so often.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't wait for Dead Reckoning when he drops into perfect splits.
Wait,
so
was that in the trailers? I didn't even notice that.
When he's on the train and the train is going towards the tunnel, he just drops immediately into a perfect split.
Fucking God.
I hate him.
I'm so attracted to that man.
I think that's the first time you have ever said those words, and you put it onto audio.
I didn't say who. I could be talking about Ethan Hunt.
Are you implying that you weren't?
Shit!
Wow. It all comes out. Ethan, you're a better driver than this. Wait, no, he's not. He's a better motorcyclist than he is a driver.
Definitely. Although he does pretty well in the driving scene in Rogue Nation.
Yeah, and he was recently dead before that, so maybe I owe him an apology. He's a very good driver. Benji did not die.
But he does immediately change to a motorcycle, and then he does even better.
Yeah, like, a motorcycle is just an extension of his soul at this point.
Yeah. We do definitely have to get more of a motorcycle scene in that fic.
Mm-hmm. And practical. Let's just hurl a fucking car at Tom Cruise. There's no reason that had to be practical, but that he wanted it.
Of course he did.
So did McQuarrie have, like, an explanation of why this guy who, like, his background is being a fucking, like, professor of nuclear endgame theory, why he can outrun Ethan fucking Hunt? Did McQuarrie explain that one?
He did not, no.
Okay. Ha ha.
See, and then the reveal makes sense. It's like,
yes,
I was in the room the whole time.
Your whole mission could have ended if you just shot me in the head.
Yep.
And Ethan's just like, oh man, my whole mission could have ended if I just shot him in the head.
Is that the scarf that he wears?
That's an ugly scarf now. Oh, I love watching Benji in this sequence. He's just not having a fun time. Mom's in the bathroom.
Yeah, this is
a glass of wine.
This is the milfiest scene. This and the Pilates pants are the milfiest part of this movie.
Mm-hmm. Just having a meltdown in the bathroom while the kids are fighting.
But also having to pause your meltdown because practical stuff is happening and you have to still be on top of everything.
Yep, it is the milfiest moment. Dunhill lighter! That's the thing from MI1!
Holy shit, that part I didn't notice.
I'm gonna kiss Chris McQuarrie. Consensually. Because, my god.
I assumed.
I love this so much. He is so done. Like, I love this scene because Ethan's so fucking done. He's sick of everything. He wants to be back in prison with his rock. He was getting so much sleep.
I love that in this scene, Ethan actually does not know Brant's secrets. But Brant knows his. I think that's actually really fucking cool. Or at least he knows what he thinks the secret is.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that that's the same, the Dunhill lighter thing is the same, implies that actually Ethan is still, Fabio was the guy that Ethan called and said, I don't care what happens, you just need to get him to Dubai.
So he's friends with that guy.
He's friends with his old flings, second in command.
Yes, who he beat the shit out of, but neither of them died, so obviously now they're friends.
Wait, when did he beat the shit out of Fabio?
They, on the train, they fought.
Oh, I'd completely forgotten about that. Wait, did they? No, he didn't.
Yeah. Somebody fought with that guy.
Maybe,
because he took off his big stupid jacket.
I'm pretty sure no one fought with Fabio.
There he is. This is just somebody who is in Ethan's Rolodex now.
Yeah.
In his mental Rolodex, because fuck knows he doesn't have an actual one.
Since Ethan, we know at that era, was really into threesomes.
Yes. That hair is still bad, though.
The hair is still bad. At least he's wearing fitted clothes now. And I think that it's funny that he thinks that he knows how funny it is that he brought the same creepy fucking mask 20 years later.
Good. I can't believe it's the same fucking mask. Jesus!
And it's so unnecessary. Why do you need a creepy mask? You could just put a regular bag over his head. Why do you have to be serial killer about it?
McQuarrie did that one for us.
Yeah, just for us. Just to bring us joy.
Thank you, McQuarrie, for giving Brant a good backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, no shit. He went for a run. Shocking. Ethan Hunt going
also,
for
does
a
that
run.
imply that Brant can keep up with Ethan's run?
Well, it wasn't
I don't believe that for
I'm going to
seconds.
It wasn't his save the world run. It says I'm going for a jog run.
Are you implying that Ethan Hand has anything but 100% run power at any time?
Yes, because in Fallout, Benji tells him to go faster, and he does.
Yeah, but that's like the difference between 100% and 110%.
Fuck. What does he run at? Something like 12 to 14 miles per hour?
That's what you said in the last one, yeah.
God. I love what a bunch of fucking gossips the IMF is.
I know, it's so good.
Wait, that's canon because everybody spends the entirety of MI3 telling Ethan that his marriage is going to fail.
Uh-huh.
That was fucked up.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
Mm.
Also, I did not realize, I was just reading that post before this, I did not realize that Jeremy Renner wanted to keep the option open that he could come back.
I'm pretty sure that, like, McQuarrie offered him the chance to be killed off in Fallout, and he just went, nah, I'm okay.
Interesting.
I love Bogdan.
Bogdan is so good.
Ethan is so understanding.
I also love this because it's, again, a polar opposite of the airplane scene in MI3, right?
Yes.
In MI3, he's the interrogator and he's still on his back foot. Whereas here, he is literally handcuffed to a chair, but everything is going according to plan.
Yes. I love him.
He's so great. I love older Ethan Hunt. I swear they're totally different characters.
Mm-hmm. But we can, like, track the progression. We know why he's this way now, and it's great.
Like, there's continuity, but also, like, there's enough difference that you're like, oh, I could literally categorize these as two different people.
Mm-hmm. This is, like, one of the many reasons why I'm obsessed with him as a character. It's, like, it's so rare to have a character with so much history behind him.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Like, literally from 1996 to now.
And, like, there is a certain amount of resets at the beginning of each movie, but they really don't do it where it's just, like, the same character over and over and over again. I think McQuarrie talks about that in, like, The Fuse, too. Like, he says, like, it's important that that he stays Ethan, but you also have to have character development.
Yeah. And, like, it's so obvious, like, the direction he's going with from here to Rogue Nation to Fallout. Like, there is a direct arc being lobbed here, and I fucking love it.
I know. I hate him. Fucking wait for Dead Reckoning. Holy shit.
I want to see where it lands. He's so good at making friends. It's so much better to make friends with people than to shoot them with a Kalashnikov.
Mm-hmm.
Or a P90 or whatever the fuck he was using.
It was a G6. Like
no, that was the bigger gun from the plane.
No, I was kidding.
It's also a G68 or something. As if we would know what that means, Luther.
I love his shirt here.
Mm-hmm.
Benji, you do like Prince, don't you?
That's so much hair. He needs a trim.
I love how they're all acting despite the fact that they're squinting like motherfuckers because it's so bright. Even with their sunglasses on.
Yeah. Don't flirt with him yet. He's not your boyfriend yet. Just one more movie. Alright, this guy. Like, why does this beat cop, who we have established is not KGB, is not, like, a spy, has, like, he's buddies with a fucking arms dealer?
I have no idea. I can't explain it. Sorry. I've run into something that I cannot explain.
He's like, McQuarrie, I have questions. Indian Tony Stark.
Yep, literally.
I love that, like, it's them. It's the two of them.
Mm-hmm. And it's honestly one of the reasons that makes it seem sort of odd to me that there seems to be quite a few people who ship Brandt and Ethan when, like, this scene is very much, like, it's character-wise, Ethan is mirroring Jane, and then you have, like, Benji and Brandt over in another spot. Like, it just...
Oh, that was a huge pair. That was the original huge pairing for this movie was Benji
really?
and Brandt. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know. According to what I'd seen on AO3, it looked like it was Ethan and Brandt.
Yeah, if you backtrack all the way back to the when this movie originally came out, that's what people were shipping.
Oh, damn. That's
Which,
interesting.
I mean, it's not Simon Pegg's fault that he has chemistry with everyone.
Yeah, that's a curse that he really has to bear.
Mm-hmm. It's a heavy cross.
Yep.
More bullshit technology. That's a very nice flannel, though. I like his flannel.
It is a good flannel.
Benji and layers.
Oh, McQuarrie, by the way, he also mentioned that... So, this is the movie where all of the tech fails. He was the one who added the little suit robot breaking and Brandt having to launch himself into the air to get to the...
Really?
Yeah, that was him.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Such a fucking good scene.
I do get it now. Actually, I'm so glad I said when I did, because recontextualizing the scene as being all over Tumblr at that era makes complete sense to me.
Yes.
Like the way they're leaned forward, their lighting, everything. Mm-hmm.
Yes. It was catnip at the time. This was before Rogue Nation came and, blew everyone's dicks off. Like, nobody was prepared.
Yeah. I don't think I was actually on Tumblr at that time, because I think I joined Tumblr in 2012.
Yeah. It was a magical time, back when everyone thought that Hawkeye was going to be a huge thing, and then Jeremy Renner just got screwed over and over and over and over for his entire career with the MCU.
And then now they're doing a Hawkeye, and everybody's like, oh, I'm sorry, we're supposed to care about the MCU now? We're so done dirty so many times.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Always the bridesmaid. He was supposed to take over for the Bourne Identity, and he was supposed to take over for Mission Impossible, and it just never pans out. Poor fucking funny. Jeremy Renner.
Yeah. See, now this is a good dress.
Her tits are amazing. That color is so good. Everything is good. Like, Okay, can we fucking talk about how Ethan spends this entire sequence coaching her into seducing someone?
Yeah, he is old hat at being a honeypot. He has done this so many times, he cannot stop backseat driving.
Yeah. It's so fucking good. Comm check so I could keep talking in your fucking ears all fucking night.
Yeah, okay. That's actually, I'm thinking about that more. This is the age when he's like, oh, I'm no longer the honey trap. Like, I'm no longer leading this part of the mission. I now have to sit back and let somebody else do it. And this is him adjusting to that. Like, he still thinks like, oh, I get to read this person. I get to call the shots. And he has to, like, learn in later missions, like, oh, I have to just let them do it.
Because this is like the first one where he feels like a leader.
Uh-huh.
Like, because MI1 is like he had the leadership instincts, and if he followed them, fewer people would have died, and that's one of the things on his conscience.
Yeah.
2, there was no team.
Yeah.
Just, they didn't fucking care.
Mm-hmm.
3 was the clusterfuck that it was, but this one's like, he's the leader. This is leader Ethan.
Yeah. And it's like...
I'm so happy.
It's very cool. It's like he's matured enough that it's like, oh, IMF is no longer basically going to be just using me for my body. Like, now I actually get to be the leader that I've always been sort of destined to be. I actually get to, like, fulfill my potential because I'm no longer basically just, like, a hot boy toy.
Yeah, and, like, the thing in MI3 was, like, he's so, like, regimented and, like, told what to do by the IMF. And in this, like, he's off the grid. In Rogue Nation, he's off the grid. In Fallout, everything goes to shit and he's off the grid. It's great. Such good boobs. My God.
I'm not much of a boobs person.
Really?
No.
Huh. More of an ass person?
Not really. I guess if I would have to choose, I'd be a thighs person.
That's fair. Such a dick move. I love Ethan watching us like, I fucking hate this maneuver.
And then the match cut, actually, the term you taught me, to Benji grimacing over driving his little robot.
Yeah, that's a good catch. That's really good. The language is cinema.
See, she literally says it. Like, obviously, it's within the confines of the grift, but also, like, it is the central point that, like, there's no moment in this movie where she is at all the love interest.
Yeah. He is just not interested, because he's now in, like, full, like, oh, I figured out while I was in prison that I'm asexual, actually.
Uh-huh. I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, he's growing as a person right before our eyes. It's great. Renner is so good at this, actually. I can't figure out what his look means. He's like, okay. Just crushed my finger.
I think his look means, holy shit, this girl clocked that I'm a masochist just from that one interaction. That's incredible.
Sucks being the leader, huh, Ethan?
What was that one fic where Ethan and Benji have to kiss to cover up something that they're doing that's shady? And Benji goes on and on about how Ethan does it in such a way that he understands why no one's punched him. Yeah,
it's such a good fucking
good.
Yes. He's here to be a facilitator. He's good at what he does. I'm so proud of him. Oh my god, Jane, I'm so sorry. That she has to play hide and seek with this guy. I feel for her so much.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe McQuarrie added the fucking thing breaking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right, the villain. This movie just does not care about its villain. This is just supposed to be a romp.
Yeah. Which I appreciate, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
obviously,
okay with
I
it.
love the villain in Fallout.
Mm-hmm.
And Rogue Nation obviously has Solomon Lane, who's, like, one of the best villains. But
Yes.
I do also appreciate that there's basically just enough set dressing on Hendricks as a villain that the plot holds together, but he doesn't have to be the focus.
And he has more backing and more motivation than Owen Davian.
Yep.
It's a pretty good line. Oh, fucking Ethan up at the balcony just having a fucking... just biting his nails.
Mm-hmm.
See, he's the one who wants to seduce the rich guy. At least then he can control what's going on.
Do you think that was why McQuarrie chose their code names, was because they're dealing with a satellite?
Huh. If so, that's really cute. But anything is better than MI3 and, like, Alpha Observer.
Yeah, that was really
like,
bad.
fucking...
It didn't even make sense.
No.
It was not thematic.
I love these so much more. Ethan is Jupiter, right?
Yeah.
I really like that. It's just, yeah. It's a good movie, actually. I don't know what to say.
I don't
so
know whether
good.
McQuarrie did this bit, because obviously he did not mention the, like, super kinky, like, guy that's in this movie. He did not mention that in the interviews, but I really, really want to know if McQuarrie was responsible for this.
Yeah, I mean, his favorite song right now is My Type by Saint Hotel, so who could say? That fact lives in my fucking head every day. It's like, really? Okay. It's an interesting song choice, my guy. Literally the bisexual anthem, but that's fine. Man, I love how powerful just, like, jump drives are in this movie.
Uh-huh.
It's downloaded a virus from the set. Isn't it... Shouldn't it be he's uploading a virus to... You know what? It's fine. It's okay. It doesn't need to make sense.
You know he's gonna have that much more intense kinks after this.
Mm-hmm. He's got the money. He can find some people to indulge him.
But he's clearly very self-conscious about these masochistic desires. So I hope that he finds peace.
Yeah. I hope he finds an outlet.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody in this series actually have lipstick that's lipstick?
I don't think so. I don't think we see anyone applying actual lipstick. Obviously, it is your job to give Ethan actual lipstick in a fic.
Shut the fuck up. I was gonna say that Ethan's little, wave was very, very slutty there, but...
Uh-huh. No, I think it should be black lipstick for the goth look.
With all his black?
Yeah, it would look fucking phenomenal.
Oh my god. Say the line, say the line. And the crowd goes wild. The line that launched a fair amount of fics.
Yeah.
I won't say 1 million, but quite a few. At this point, I have no idea. Right? Completely obsessed with just, Jane changing her clothes while Ethan's driving.
Okay, I'm thinking about this, and I'm thinking about there's this moment where, it's implied that he's, sneaking a peek at her, but also it's so unsexualized at the same time that it's just, sort of a weird moment. You're just It's clearly that he's not looking at her.
Come on, give us wandering eyes. Jesus Christ, that's fast.
Yeah. See, it's a second look over, but he does it no, the look he gives is no, I'm not looking at you that way. It was just a surprise, that's what his face says.
Really? I didn't even read it that way. I read it as him looking ahead and then looking to the side again to confirm with her that, listen, we're gonna be fine.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's
I read
how,
it as, it was supposed to be oh, I'm taking a look because you're in your underthings. But, to me, the way it's played is also still very much just I refuse to be sexual about this moment.
Mm-hmm. And at some point she must have, put on pants and everything. That's impressive considering how fucking fast he's driving.
Uh-huh.
These are talented people.
Yeah.
Whoopsie daisy, I guess that's the end of the movie.
Can you imagine?
Fucking McQuarrie's yeah, I'm not gonna kill off Julia, but there is gonna be a nuke going. It's fucking grim. It's a very stupid-looking car.
Really? I think it's supposed to look cool.
I'm sure it's supposed to. It looks like a Tron car. It sounds like a Tron car.
Yeah, I feel like those ones that have the weirdly opening doors are never actually that cool.
The DeLorean doors, yeah.
oh, I'm an idiot. Of course he's real. He's in this scene. Somehow I didn't process that the first 3 times I watched this movie.
Listen, the villains of this movie don't matter. We're glad that they're there to make the film make more sense, but come on. You know, honestly, it's a function of the movie. Like, if we put more focus on the villain, we wouldn't have
as much
such
focus
a fucking
on the team.
Yeah, and this is the team movie to end all team movies. That's actually really great. Because they almost cast Harrison Ford as the bad guy in this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And if they did, then it would have been a much bigger role. But fuck that, actually.
Yeah.
I love that this guy can outrun Ethan Hunt. It makes me so happy. McQuarrie, explain. Even, like, one mention of, like, oh yeah, he used to be an Olympic sprinter. Just, boom, done. You got it. God, this fucking sequence. They built this entire fucking structure.
Did they really? Holy shit, I didn't know that.
They built this thing. It worked.
What?
They put real cars in it.
That's insanity.
Yep. Mm-hmm. They built a working fucking Carvana, like, parking garage. Oh, Ethan. Oh, Ethan. Oh, every time. I flinch every... It's because the Foley is so good. I flinch every fucking time.
The Foley is incredibly good.
Yep. That really... Yep. I love that detail. Benji is fucking twisting cat cables with his fingers and no gloves. You're not supposed to do that. This fucking Looney Tunes ass sequence. And here is where he was supposed to break his leg permanently. So, where it gets, like, stuck under the car.
Yeah, I can totally see where that cut happened. Like, I can see where they probably shot it looking worse. And
yeah, they're going to add in post production with CGI. Just you would see his bone sticking out. It was like, oh, geez, okay. Yeah. Thankfully, TC was like, no, I'm not retiring from this. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
But it is also why he's, like, limping through this entire sequence. His leg is fucked up.
I think it's a good moment, honestly. I like that he's limping the whole time.
Yeah, me too.
It's the same principle as all boys look prettier, all bloodied.
And as much as we love, like, MI1 Ethan, we love Ethan more when he just gets the shit kicked out of him on a regular basis. Love to see it.
I love him so much.
Your grip strength, man!
Yeah, seriously.
He keeps grabbing onto the bottom of elevators. Oof. I genuinely love that. Like, he's an idealist. He believes in this, unfortunately. He's not like Solomon, who's just a fucking petty douchebag who wanted you to suffer.
I love, though, that Solomon won't admit that he's a pretty douchebag.
Yeah, that's my favorite part, is he thinks he's, like, so enlightened. Yep.
Yeah, and then he always takes offense when people call him a terrorist.
He's like, no, I'm better than that, he says, while plotting, like, 17 ways to make Ethan suffer. Jesus, Ethan.
Yeah, another fucking car crash. and we know the insurance doesn't cover it.
Love his bloodied fingertips. Do not do that with cables at home. They're sharp. I took like 2 classes on networking where they taught us how to how to build cables, and you're not supposed to touch them with your fingers like that.
Even when there's no power going to them?
No, it's a matter of the sharpness of the, because one of those cables is actually a bundle of a bunch of smaller wires, and they can be sharp.
Interesting.
Yeah, you get like cool little tools to make the clips that go in the end. It's fun. Oh, baby.
Okay, have you heard the story about this?
No, tell me.
Okay, so McQuarrie said that he had a whole bunch of things that he was trying to sell to the higher ups at the studio about how he wanted the movie to go. And he knew it was going to be the hardest sell was going to be they wanted Brandt to be the one who kills the guy at the end, obviously, because they're really pro Brandt. And so he knew that the hardest sell was going to be Benji shooting Wistrom. And so he says, I ended up thinking about it as I had to turn them one by one. And I started with the guy who I knew had a huge thing about father-son relationships. So he said he sold it as Benji is like a father to Brandt, and he's like taking care of him. And McQuarrie literally joked in the interview. He's like, because, looking at the film, you really think about Benji as a father, right? And he's like, but once he had that one guy on board, he was able to go through the whole room and turn everybody until they agreed to it.
I hate how much respect I have for him.
I know, he's so
I hate him.
Good.
He knows what has to happen, and he will fight to make it happen. Like, oh, McHugh.
He's the fucking best.
No wonder Tom Cruise is in love with him. God damn. Thank God you're here, Luther. Cisco Bay. Yep. Snorkeling. It's so strange that that's his thing.
Yeah. Maybe he spent so long on the bottom of San Francisco Bay that he's like, fuck this, I'm never doing this again. And that's why he gets Benji to do it after this.
I fully agree. Luther has seniority. Any bitch work he doesn't want to do, he can just give to Benji. And Benji can't say shit because he's newer. Aw, hey. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You guys did great, but it was also a lot of fucking dumb luck. It's almost like somebody here is powered by luck and the forward momentum of the narrative to his, to his benefit and his detriment.
Mm-hmm. For real.
He needs a haircut.
See, I do sort of like this little bit of what we can see about how he would have been if he did take on that sort of, like, secretary role. I'm glad he didn't, obviously, but I'm still sort of hoping that that is his version of retirement.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Benji. McHugh went back and watched this movie. He's like, wait, I should just fuck over Benji for the next 2 movies and put him through absolute fucking hell.
Yeah, I think he was like, Solomon is too nice. He will let me keep fucking him over, so I should just take advantage of that and do that.
Mm-hmm. Fucking Simon Pegg, who's talking about Benji's fashion and Dead Reckoning. It's like, I got strung up from the ceiling. I don't care anymore. I have nothing to prove. It's like, hell yeah, baby. You must have read an earlier version of the script, my man. Fucking thank you, McHugh. Thank you. I straight up would not be a fan of the movies if Julia was dead.
Yeah.
I read an earlier script.
I had to get her back. What does that mean? I've never quite understood that.
Did she actually get taken?
Oh. Really? Is that what that implies? I never understood what that was saying.
Huh, yeah, because I thought the entire thing was a setup for them to, like...
Right.
To fake Julia's death.
Is it sort of like get her back, as in, like... get her back under safety by adding, like, I don't, it's, that one line bothers me.
We would have to go and find Damon Lindelof and ask him, because he did the final rewrite of the sequence, because everybody, Brad Bird, McQuarrie, Applebaum, and then Lindelof all took a run at writing this final sequence after all the changes came in. So...
Yeah, McQuarrie actually gives a lot to Lindelof. He says, oh yeah, I didn't actually do that much. Of course he did. But I didn't actually do that much. It's Lindelof, ultimately, who did that.
Another guy who wasn't credited? Okay. Everybody fucking hates arbitration over here. But TC is the one who says that, like, McQuarrie wrote this movie. He said it, I think, during the press tour for Rogue Nation.
Of course he did. He's in love with that man.
He knows what's up. He's like, thank you for coming in and saving my franchise. By which I mean our franchise. Hearts and eyes.
You and me, our franchise.
I mean, yes. Yep. Mm-hmm. I've already made my argument. It's like, yeah, McQuarrie saved this as much as, like, doing the Burj Khalifa did.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's the McQuarrie trilogy.
Yep. Soon to be...
Quadrilogy.
Quadrilogy, yeah. And then a quintet.
Yeah. Aww. Another thing that they changed, like in the original cut, she didn't look back. And they decided that was too sad, so they had her come in just so she could shoot Julia looking back.
The thing is, the first thing that I thought of when I finished this movie, the very first time I saw it, was, holy shit, this would be Karkat's favorite movie, just for this one scene.
It's so sad. It's so beautiful.
It's such a good romantic scene in a movie that is not a romance. I'm like, Dave would make Karkat watch this, and Karkat would be like, oh, this is so boring. They already fridged the wife. And then he would get to this moment, and he would be literally crying next to Dave.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And he'd be right, because they're always in love with each other. Like, they both move on with their lives and do different things, but, like, they're always going to be in love with each other.
Yeah.
Ugh. Thanks, McHugh!
Yeah, that was fantastic. Thanks, McHugh. Look, now that they want us to go back to the haterade hour.
God, Jesus. Nah, we're good. Yeah, no, that's like, I like how we started with MI3 and it was just hater, just hating it constantly, and now I feel so happy. It's such a fucking good movie.
It is. Okay, now I think the one that I'm next most excited to watch with you is MI1. I'm so excited about MI1.
Okay, Okay. We do MI1, and then we do Rogue Nation. Because they mirror each other as well. Like, here is the genesis of, like, Ethan
On the other
Hunt and
hand,
why
I really
he's so
want to get
fucked up.
2 over with quickly. On the other hand, I really want to get 2 over with quickly.
No, we have to do 2 last.
Last? What?
Yes.
Not end with Fallout?
No.
Oh, God.
Oh, maybe. If we keep doing these as double features for ourselves, I think we do MI1 and Rogue Nation, because really fun mirrors where Ethan starts and where, like, the thing that makes him Ethan becomes like a bludgeon that other people can use against him.
Okay,
like,
well, this is the thing. I think if that's a double feature, that should be last, because that is the best double feature of the entire series, is MI1 and Rogue Nation, in our opinion. Obviously not technically speaking, but in our opinion, that would be the best one.
It's weird. I didn't even consider not doing Fallout last. Huh. That's interesting. So, would you... Wait, is this just you trying to limbo dodge so you can do 2 earlier?
No, I'm thinking... I'm not limbo dodging. I'm straight on saying I think we should do 2 earlier, because I think that MI1 and Rogue Nation should be last.
Okay. Because Rogue Nation is my favorite? Is it your favorite too?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I love Fallout, but man, Rogue Nation.
And I feel like
Fallout's
it then is sort of like a logical progression, right? Like, least favorite movie, and then it's Mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Baddest movie, and then it's Mirror, which is the best. And then...
How are we going to argue that?
Fallout is the best, right? Like, technically speaking.
Okay, and MI2 is the worst, technically speaking.
Exactly, see?
Though JJ tried so hard. He looked at the MI2 and went, mission accepted. I understand the what I'm supposed to do here.
And then the last one will just end with, like, our 2 favorites.
Mm-hmm. Which we can't shut the fuck up about. Yeah, Yeah. The one that we could each do a post-mortem on. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so the question is... Okay, with the duo of Fallout and MI2, which one first?
Oh, I still think MI2 first. I think the same way we did it this time.
Okay, you want to do Shot and Chaser?
Yeah, exactly.
You take a gunshot to the knee and then watch a really good movie.
Uh-huh.
And then with Rogue Nation and MI1, how do you pick?
Oh, God, that's hard. I don't know.
I think maybe you tee it up with, like, how Ethan became, the sad boy that he is, and then go to how Solomon Lane turns that into, a weapon against him.
On the other hand, I feel like in true Machete order, it would make more sense to end at the beginning. Like, I feel like that's more in the theme of Machete order.
That's fair. And then we can end on the Langley heist, which is beautiful. Ugh. How are we going to just, like... The Langley heist is just going to be us sighing to ourselves the entire time.
Yeah, it's going to be so good.
It's so beautiful and stunning. Every time I watch it, I notice more little things. It's great.
Wait. What was the silence section of this movie?
The breaking into the Kremlin.
Oh, thank you. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm. Rogue Nation... I think technically the silent portion is when Ethan's underwater and the only thing you can hear is his heartbeat. And because that's the highest moment of tension.
Yeah.
And we don't know about MI2. We have no fucking idea. Fallout. Does Fallout have a silent section?
I think it must. I don't know. We'll have to pay attention when we get there.
Yeah, because I'm racking my brain at the moment, and definitely not. But I would forgive it, because it gives us the moment when Ethan gets his head slammed into a sink, and he stumbles around for a moment, because, my God, he's tired. It's great.
I don't believe that McQuarrie would give up on the silent moment. There has to be one in Fallout.
No, it's not that. It's not when he's busting out solemnly. We'll find it.
Is it the drop? The
Halo drop?
The Halo drops?
There's a lot of sound in that one, so no. I would agree of it like as an apex of tension. No, I actually wouldn't, because the apex of tension is the last 30 minutes of that movie, which is like just a slow motion heart attack.
Yeah.
God, the end of Fallout's so fucking brutal. It has to be the second one that night, because I can't watch the ending of Fallout and then watch something else. I'll just die.
And you can't watch something else that is so bad as number 2. You cannot do that.
Okay, so we have our plan.
Yeah.
For this ridiculous little project. Okay. I think we're done for the night, because it is now 12:30 and we watched 2 movies.
Oh my god, Ark, it's so late for you.
It is, but that's okay, because I love Chris McQuarrie. I think he's very talented, and I believe in his ethos of what the fuck writing is.
He's very good.
All right.
All right. Good night.
Good night.